Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Yang Bahagia Datuk Lokman Hakim Ali, Secretary General Ministry of International Trade and Industry. Yang Bahagia Datuk Saiful Anwar bin Lebay Hussein, Director General Economic Planning Unit EPU, Prime Minister's Department. Yang Bahagia Datuk Abdul Latif bin Haji Abu Seman, Director General Malaysia Productivity Corporation, MPC, prominent speakers, panelists, moderators, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I express gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His grace that we are here this morning for the National Conference on Behavioural Insights. And by His grace too, that the nation is recuperating from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, a process which requires every individual in the country to walk the same path. Thank you, Dato' Abdul Latif and MPC for holding the conference, which I believe will shed more light on behavioural insight and how the tool can be used to improve the state of policy making and implementation, something that I look forward to hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, 2020 was a year like no other. COVID-19 pandemic has marked a black spot in the history to cause among the worst health and economic crisis here at home and globally. It was a painful year, and we are still dealing with pain until now. It was a year which was full of surprises, the kind of surprises that we do not look forward at all. Yet, it was taught us many lessons, which we can learn from and ensure that if there is a next time of such crisis, Allah forbids, we, as a nation, will be better prepared and resilient in facing it. We are still battling the pandemic and the storm which come with it. We are still fighting the repercussions the virus has on our economy, life, and the society. Economies around the world have been experiencing contraction, the worst since the 2009 crisis, translated into the decrease in the productivity growth, decline in business activities, and weakening the overall stability of our economy. COVID-19 has caused our labour productivity to contract by 5.4% in 2020, the lowest in a decade. 2021 enters the glimpses of flags, and the storm eases as we are on the recovering path. We believe that the productivity growth will rebound this year, and the projection aligns with the IMF's forecast on Malaysia's GDP growth in 2021 by 7%. The government has been rigorous in the effort to facilitate businesses and the aid of the rakyat to deal with the situation. The industry are doing the best to ensure that businesses stay afloat, and every responsible citizen is embracing the new normal way of living. Everyone is doing his and her part to escalate the recovery. Various stimulus packages, initiatives, and incentives have been in the motion. Both the public and private sectors are gearing up for the continuation of life and livelihood. More good news is heard, and the recently commenced national vaccination plans has breathed a new life into the recovery process. On the government's affirmative effort is to approve policies and regulatory delivery for businesses to start, sustain, and expand their operations. Developing quality policies and improving the existing rules and regulations are the means to pursue this purpose. I applaud MPC's many efforts in this aspect. I understand that through my Malaysia Mudah or My Mudah initiative, a program to review the existing regulations in improving the ease of doing business has escalated 87 recommendations for improvement to reduce the unnecessary regulatory burdens and red tapes on businesses. Industry players, especially from the tourism, construction and import-export sectors, have benefited from the program directly. I also understand that MPC has been working closely with the Governance, Integrity and Anti-Corruption Centre, or GICC, to facilitate the improvement of guidelines for licenses and permits, an initiative which will benefit the industry players and the rakyat in the long run. Today, we shall hear the expert, another tool for effective policy making and efficient regulatory delivery through the behavioural insight approach. The model, though new, has proven its values in the policy development and execution. Behavioural insight in the formulation of public policy has been widely used around the world, where it has proven to achieve high regulatory compliance. The application of the principle resulted in policies which are easily accepted by the people, while at the same time ease the burden of regulations and reduce government operating costs and use of resources. The approach influences behavior towards accepting and complying with the policy by making it user-friendly, attractive, and appropriate. To date, more than 200 policymakers and institutions around the world have applied behavioural insight in public policy. In Germany, for example, for distance sales contracts concluded online, sellers are obligated to present contractual terms in brief and simple manner. The policy relies on the evidence from behavioural insight that consumers are prone to cognitive overload when presented with too complex and too much information. The initiative has led to better consumer protection. Behavioural insights define as, I quote, an inductive approach to policy making that combines insight from psychology, cognitive science, and social science, which empirically tested result to discover how humans actually make choices, leads to a better understanding of human behavior, which tips better policies. Integrating behavioral insight into policy making enables policymakers and regulators to anticipate the behavioral consequences of the policy and subsequently deliver more effective and quality rules and regulation, which may improve the well-being of the public. MPC has embarked on the preparation for BI to be included in the 12 Malaysian Plan. The conference today is timely to charter the continuity of the mandate. I understand from Datuk Latif that MPC will be providing online training and capacity building on behavioural insight. My latihan maya to build competency in the area. I hope the civil servants will take the opportunity to participate in My Latihan Maya to familiarize with the method and later adopt it appropriately in policy making. Indeed, a lot has to be done and many factors must come into play, and today's conference is another significant connecting dot. I call for MPC to heighten the effort of this matter. I call for policymakers and regulators as well as the public and private sectors to venture into this prospect with one goal in mind, the well-being of the rakyat. I hereby declare open the National Conference on Behavioural Insights 2021 and launch My Latihan Maya. Thank you very much. Have a productive day ahead. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.